she stepped into the golden glow of the restaurant, her heart steady but her stomach tense. Kendra Lewis was used to being underestimated, and tonight would be no different, or so her co-workers thought. From the corner table, laughter burst out. Melissa and her friends were already filming, ready to humiliate her with their little prank. Look who actually showed up. Melissa's voice carried through the room. People turned their heads, but Kendra didn't flinch. She had faced worse humiliations before. Straightening her shoulders, she walked with quiet dignity toward the man sitting alone at the reserved table. "Good evening," he said warmly, standing as she approached. "I'm Daniel." Not the desperate, awkward figure Melissa had described. No, Daniel's presence was calm, self-assured, even refined. His eyes were kind, his voice polite. Kendra smiled faintly. "Sorry I'm late." She sat down, aware of the cameras still pointing her way. Melissa whispered something to her friends, and they laughed louder than ever. But as conversation began, the lies started to unravel. Daniel wasn't desperate. He was thoughtful, asking questions about Kendra's work and her life. And when she leaned forward and asked, "How do you know Melissa?" his frown gave everything away. "Melissa? I don't know anyone by that name. My assistant arranged this meeting. She told me a colleague wanted me to meet someone." Kendra's calm sharpened. This wasn't a date. It was a trap. Her co-workers had staged it to humiliate her in public. Still, instead of anger, a dangerous serenity washed over her. She had been documenting women like Melissa for months. Tonight, they had given her exactly what she needed. Melissa's voice pierced the restaurant again. "Girls, are you filming this? Tomorrow, the whole office will see how desperate she is." People shifted uncomfortably. Daniel leaned in. "Do you know them?" he asked quietly. "Co-workers," Kendra replied smoothly, sipping her wine. Apparently, humiliating people is their entertainment. Daniel studied her carefully, clearly unsettled. Yet Kendra remained composed. Her stillness was not weakness. It was preparation. Melissa, drunk on her own arrogance, finally left her table and strolled over. She placed a fake sweet hand on Kendra's shoulder. "Hope you're not being too intense. Men don't like women who pretend to be more than they are." For a moment, silence filled the air. Then Kendra tilted her head, her voice gentle but cutting. "Melissa, are you sure you want to continue? Because once certain doors open, they can never be closed." Melissa laughed in her face and walked back, convinced she had won. But she had no idea the storm she had just unleashed. Kendra calmly reached for her phone, not to text, but to access a private account she had kept hidden. An account where she had documented 6 months of harassment, jokes, and discrimination at work. Screenshots, recordings, written notes all neatly organized. Daniel noticed. "You're very calm," he said softly. Most people would have stormed out. Kendra looked up, her eyes steady. Calm isn't surrender. Calm is preparation. And fate stepped in right then. The restaurant manager approached quietly. He was a young law student named David, who instantly recognized her. "Ms. Lewis," he whispered, "you gave a lecture at my university last year. I overheard everything tonight. I also have access to the audio system and security footage. If you need recordings, they're yours." For the first time that night, Kendra's smile was genuine. "Thank you, David. That will be very helpful." Meanwhile, Melissa was growing louder. Her insults sharper, her mockery openly racist now. Several guests were visibly upset. What she didn't realize was that every cruel word was being preserved by witnesses, staff, and technology. Daniel leaned closer, realization dawning. "Wait, you're not just an employee, are you?" Kendra handed him a sleek card. "Kendra Lewis, founder and CEO of Lewis and Associates. I specialize in workplace discrimination cases. Tonight, Melissa just handed me her career on a silver platter." Daniel's eyes widened. The woman across from him wasn't a victim. She was a strategist. The next morning, Melissa strutted into the office, still laughing about last night. But waiting for her in the conference room was the HR director, along with 2 lawyers. Her smirk faded when she saw the presentation on the screen. Kendra's company logo, side by side with video clips, screenshots, and Melissa's own mocking Instagram post from the night before. The HR director's voice was cold. "Melissa Carter, last night you targeted and harassed an official auditor assigned to this company. Because of your actions, Sterling Marketing is now at risk of losing an $8 million diversity contract with the city." Melissa's face drained of color. Wait, I didn't know who she was. It was just a joke. The lawyer pressed play. Melissa's own voice filled the room. "Look who actually showed up." Our Cinderella finally made it, followed by cruel laughter and racist remarks. Her protest collapsed into silence. By the end of the meeting, her career was over. As for Kendra, she had finished that dinner with dessert and a calm smile. Because she knew the truth, justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent, strategic, and devastating. And when arrogance underestimates the wrong woman, the price is far greater than humiliation. It's everything.